Good afternoon, Facebook Live. This is Robin Kirby. You know what? You're going to have tea with me. I'm going to come on here and bring you some information about a supplement that is absolutely amazing in my personal experience and testimony. And make sure that you check with your medical expert, doctor, however that looks like, and just discuss with them any of this supplementation information if need be before you begin. But I wanted to come on here today, and I'm going to do this every once in a while, and I'm going to call it Tea with Me. So in my tea, I have black tea that I put in a fuser, and I put some pomegranate powder that is by this same company, Micro Ingredients, and I'm going to talk to you about today. And I put in just a little dab of honey and stevia. Tea with me. It is amazing what polyphenols in black tea can do for your digestive tract, your mouth, and getting to any bacteria that might be in your mouth and helping with mouth health. And also many other things that it can do. It really promotes anti-cancer, other diseases. So polyphenols, black tea. Here's tea with me. Let me take a sip and then I'll get into some information. That is good. I love having my black tea every day. And what's amazing is I've got Rich totally into it. We're on the weekends. He knows that we're going to have our tea. So as you join in, I am going to bring you some information. Let me give a disclaimer. I am not a healthcare professional. I am not a medical expert. This is personally my experience that I've had with a particular supplement, which is Moringa. Moringa. More in Georgia. That's what I tell people to remember. More in Georgia. And I just want to bring you some information about this. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Steve. Hey, Christine. Hey, Alana. God bless y'all. And Linda. Thank y'all for joining in this broadcast. I just want to share this information. I do health and wellness coaching. I've given out the information about Moringa to most of my clients, and they have done their research and if need be, talk to a doctor, and they are getting on it, and it is beyond phenomenal, the results that they're getting. And so I want to just give you some information about this product. It is, in my experience, in my pocketbook, a phenomenal price, okay? And so I order, and I'm not getting paid, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm doing because I want to give the information on what is working for me, because not all Moringa is the same quality. And my experience with Micro Ingredients, that's the name of the company. I got this on Amazon. It's the Moringa leaf powder, and it's this color that you see here, that green color. And I do a scoop in the morning, Rich and I do, with a half a cup of almond milk, and with stevia, mix it up in our magic bullet, and we down it. And in about 1.5 hours, that has been the norm for me in doing this for over about 3 weeks now, as I begin to feel it in about 1 to 1.5 hours. And one of the main things that I feel is my dopamine levels go up. Hello, can we say the happy signaling? I don't know who does not need more happiness, okay? And God has fearfully and wonderfully made us, and the physiology and the chemical signaling, molecular signaling in our body. Dopamine, I thank God for dopamine. I don't know how many of y'all thank God for dopamine, but I'm going to thank God for dopamine. And so dopamine, and what it does is that it is a neurotransmitter. So it's produced by neurons, neurotransmitter, a chemical that ferries information between neurons and it's made by a brain group of nerve cells in the middle of the brain, and that's why you feel it all up here. It's just like all this joy and happiness right here, and it's in the middle of the brain, and it's released when your brain is expecting a reward. And it contributes to feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. It plays a role in how we think and plan. And so dopamine is effective in your cognition, your neural transmission, your ability to kind of navigate the day. And the way that I would explain it is it is shalom. Yes, joy's on it. It is shalom. It feels good to where I can handle stress. Like, for example, I'll give you an example, and I'm going to get into micro ingredients moringa. And I'm also going to share, Rich and I take a scoop, but my youngest son, I don't think would do the powder. So I bought these vegetable capsules off of Amazon, and I'll get into those in a minute. Oh, here they are. I was looking for them. Here they are right here. They're vegetable capsules, and it comes with a stick, a wand, which it comes with 2 of them. And I wanted to start out with 100 for like $7, less than $7, but you can get 500 of these vegetable capsules for $11, $12. And I think that's a pretty good value. And it comes in this little bag, and it comes with 2 wands, and you can see the moringa leaf powder right there on that, where I actually make Matthew capsules, and I put them in an aerated capsule jar so that they can stay fresh. I don't make them all at one time. I just make them piecemeal. And so that's what I do. And I just put it in a little ramekin that's curved like a sphere. And I dump the powder in there, and I just kind of start scooping it up and scooping it in with this little wand right here with moringa powder. So it comes in this nifty container. You can put your vegetable capsules back in here, put your little wand, the wand you haven't opened yet, and then you can just zip it up. But we're going to look at moringa, and again, it is a massive bag. It is 2 pounds, okay, 2 pounds. And we've been doing this for 3 weeks, and it feels like hardly any has come out. And the scoop is a 3-gram scoop. And I, from my experience, have seen that 3 grams is sufficient for me. Rich, my husband, who hasn't felt anything from supplements before, in all of our married life, even before our married life, and we'll be married 22 years this December, Rich felt something from this moringa, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And so moringa powder, Moringa leaf powder, and again, not all moringa powders good, Liz. Well, this video will give you information, because my experience, the capsules were not sufficient. They were not 3 grams. 3 grams for me is a big scoop compared to 2 capsules, which is probably nothing but maybe half of a gram at the most. And so I really am so beyond excited to be taking this in my morning drink. We wake up in the morning, immediately go to the kitchen, clear out the dish rack from where we've had dishes washed and drying overnight. And then we get our little coffee cups, fill it halfway with almond milk, unsweetened vanilla flavor, and a teaspoon of stevia, and a 3-gram scoop. It comes with a scoop of moringa, and we get it in a magic bullet, and we blend it. And then once we blend it, we just down it. And I tell Rich, when I do that with chlorella, with spirulina, it doesn't taste and smell as fishy as that, because that stuff in spirulina is in the water, okay? So it's going to smell fishy. And chlorella has a very pungent smell to it that I have to douse it with stevia. But this moringa doesn't have a fishy smell. It's a leaf, but it has an earthy smell. And I would much rather, I don't know about you, because every morning for our protein shakes, I have 6 things or 5 things that I'm responsible for in getting the scoops out. Rich has got his stuff, which he's responsible for in getting the scoops out to put in our protein shake, and we have our own system. And I do the spirulina. It ain't no fun doing the scoop for the spirulina because I have a very sensitive smell, a very strong sense of smell, and as soon as I open up that spirulina, it is just so fishy. This is not that. This is earthy, and it smells great to me. There's no smell. And so I kind of call it my chocolate milk. If you can imagine, instead of a chocolate milk, a green milk that kind of has this chocolate milk ambiance. That's all I can explain it as. And so, again, this is micro ingredients, Moringa. I got mine on Amazon. Initially, it was $22, but it seems like the price fluctuates, and it seems like recently it's gone to $23. So let me bring you information about Moringa, and just so you can understand the benefits, the precautions, and stuff like that. So Moringa is a nutrient-packed food that comes from the Moringa oleifera tree in India, but just FYI, it can be planted in climate zones 8 through 10, which for those of y'all in the South, oh good, Alana, she's giving it to her kids. Thank you for sharing. And so it can be planted in the Southeast. So Rich and I are getting some Moringa tree seeds to plant on our property in Verbena, Alabama. And it is traditionally a medicine throughout Southeast Asia. It's also known as the tree of life. That is the name for which it's known. Moringa powder is often added to smoothies, nutrition bars, energy drinks. It is a drink as tea. And just FYI, when I started going through hormonal craziness, I did get Provitalize, and it turns out that Provitalize has Moringa in it. And so I take the Previtalize because of my hormone craziness. Oh my goodness. I wanted freedom when it started happening in July. And so I take Previtalize as a probiotic for women specifically in that hormonal time. And also afterwards, and I'm not going to take Provitalize. Well, I'm probably going to continue. Who knows? And so in Provitalize, it has Moringa, turmeric, curry, lectin, black pepper, all that good stuff that women really want in that special season. And so it also has Moringa leaf. I first discovered Moringa when I was looking for treating symptoms with menopause and perimenopause, especially hot flashes. And so Moringa was one of those that came up. It is also a dietary supplement not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration in the United States. And it has active ingredients of phytochemicals, minerals, vitamins, polyunsaturated fats, and phytosterols. Its alternate name is horseradish tree, drumstick tree. It's also known as the tree of life. And there is not any recommended dosages per se, of course, by the FDA, because it's not approved by the FDA. And so more information about Moringa. Now listen to this. This is why they call it the tree of life, is because like for Matthew, my youngest son, he will not take all these different pills and vitamins. But I am so super pumped about this because my son will take this and he feels an effect. In fact, when he didn't have it, he said, oh my goodness, I realized how much it affected me when I didn't have it. And so listen to these ingredients, these compounds in what is called the tree of life, Moringa. Vitamin A, vitamin B1, thiamine, vitamin B2, riboflavin, vitamin B3, niacin. Oh my goodness, niacin. That makes sense. That's also what they put in energy drinks. It's also a basis to nicotinamide mononucleotide in getting that chain reaction to repair your sirtuins. So these, I can understand why they're calling it the tree of life, because vitamin B3, niacin, vitamin C, ascorbic acid, calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium, and phosphorus. Now, is that not crazy that this leaf has all of these active compounds? It is good at protecting and nourishing the skin. Research involving animals has suggested that moringa seed oil, and also I just got that too. Let me go grab that. I am coming. Because they suggested this in use in lieu of topical antibiotics. And so this is a moringa oil. And it comes with a dropper and a sprayer that you can just put in this bottle. And many people put it on cuts, on bites, on wounds, and they have had so many testimonies of getting great results. So FYI, we've got this instead of Neosporin. We've got Neosporin, but I'm going to try this and just see how I like this in relation to any cuts or anything like that. And this bottle is so massively big. It is 4 ounces. 4 ounces. I think it was about $19. So think about 4 ounces. How far will that go? I don't think we will use this up in a year or 2 years. I don't know how long this lasts, but that is a big bottle right there. You could probably even share it with your neighbor. And it comes in this cute little box where you can put the bottle and then put the spray and the dropper. And so it comes like that. So it is good, and I'll get to kind of treating wounds in just a minute. It also treats edema, taking it, ingesting it in the moringa powder. So I'm doing moringa powder and moringa oil. This is ingesting, this is topical. And so it treats edema, where edema fluid builds up in body tissue, causes inflammation. There's swelling around the ear, causes infections. It treats that. It protects the liver. Moringa helps with protecting the liver against non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Many people have that. In one study, researchers found guinea pigs, a diet containing moringa leaves, those that consumed higher concentration of moringa had lower cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Dr. Mark Hyman is really like the massive expert on being set up for a heart attack. And he in his clinic, he is a medical doctor, but he does functional medicine, and was kind of like one of those that really spearheaded functional medicine in the United States. And Dr. Mark Hyman really has an in-depth video teaching with another doctor in which he is a colleague of, and they really get into what are the characteristics of blood lipids, outcomes in relation to you're going to have heart disease. And one of the things he really addresses is high triglycerides and about how to lower those triglycerides. He addresses the LDL, he does, the bad cholesterol, but he really focuses on the triglycerides and bringing those down. So right here it says that researchers that did studies on guinea pigs, that those that consumed higher concentrations of a moringa leaf, they had lower cholesterol and triglycerides and less inflammation in the liver. Is that not crazy? Literally, a guinea pig. It prevents and treats cancer. Moringa contains properties that might help prevent cancer. For example, it has niacin, a compound that suppresses the development of cancer cells. According to some scientists, extracts of moringa leaf, bark, and other parts of the plant might have properties that can kill cancer cells. If further research confirms this, they would provide useful treatment for breast, liver, and colorectal cancers. and other cancers. It treats upset stomachs. It has fibrous pods that can benefit digestive health. It can help prevent colon cancer. Its leaves have shown to be a laxative effect. It has a possible option for constipation. So not only fiber, but moringa leaf. And one study, moringa reduced stomach acidity and by around 85%, suggesting it could prevent peptic ulcers. Moringa's antibiotic and antibacterial properties may help prevent the growth of pathogens that cause infections. And again, here's the topical moringa oil with both a spray and a dropper. And so that's what they're referring to in relation to fighting those kind of pathogens and bacteria. Fighting foodborne bacterial infections. Moringa contains substances that act against some foodborne pathogens such as, staph, and E. coli. That is good to know. Hello, sign me up for this. Also, it helps with bacteria that is found in meat, that it helps to address that as well. Those that can pass into contaminated water and food. Both types of bacteria can cause diarrhea and other symptoms of food poisoning. So it helps with food poisoning. Yes, Angie. Well, Kim, that's why God's having me come to y'all. Yes, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. I love moringa. I've told people on my morning videos, if I was only given 2 supplements to take for the rest of Robin's life, not your life, we're all individuals. You all have different individual needs medically, physiologically, anatomically than mine. So I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you, if I could only have 2 supplements, hands down, it would be moringa and NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. And I'll do another video on that again soon. But the FDA has put a ban on it. They haven't totally pulled it off the shelves of all the holistic stores and supplement stores that make an NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. But of course, David Sinclair, who was the big spearhead that promoted nicotinamide mononucleotide, his research group at Harvard University used NMN in a pharmaceutical grade drug. And so there's kind of this stuff going on, but I can still keep buying it. And I do, off of Pro Health Longevity. And it's best not for me to get the pill because it cannot keep the grade of strength and potency through the digestive system. And I get powder for Rich and I that we do after we do the moringa powder and drink that. I get nicotinamide mononucleotide. I take a 0.5 gram, put it under my tongue and let it melt sublingual, and I give Rich 1 gram. And so that's what we do immediately after that. And then I go take my shower, Rich shaves, whatever. And so it also helps with rheumatoid arthritis. Now, FYI, there's the cutest couple on YouTube, and the titles are, Does Moringa Still Work? And Does Moringa Work? 2 different videos. And this man's testimony with rheumatoid arthritis and with another arthritis, so deformed in his ability to do anything that he started the moringa leaf powder in capsules. They do capsules. And it absolutely changed his life, helped his pain, became a whole different man. So rheumatoid arthritis preventing, it is anti-inflammatory, helps prevent rheumatoid arthritis. And it was done according to authors of a study of rodents. Treating mood and nervous system disorders. Yes, because of dopamine signaling, the happy signaling. Thank you, God. The antioxidant activity of moringa may protect also against disorders that affect the nervous system, such as multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's disease, neuropathic pain, and depression. Scientists have found it to be neuroprotective in its properties and have not fully been able to identify and pinpoint how it works. They're still doing that. It protects the cardiovascular system. It contains a range of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory agents, such as quercetin. Hello, how many things are in this moringa, right? Which may help protect cardiovascular health. Quercetin may help prevent lipid formation and inflammation, both of which can contribute to heart disease. Why? As David Sinclair explains in his book Lifespan, which I have right over here, David Sinclair explains these zombie cells that have not died in your body, they're zombified. And they're sending out a stress response, a chronic stress response, and any other cells around it can be influenced and kind of caught into that same effect. And they can start doing what the zombie cells do and send out a stress response. This is what causes inflammation. And so quercetin kind of helps, in David Sinclair's studies and his opinion, that actually helps get those zombified cells out of your person. That's the best way I can describe it. Hey, Sherry, that's awesome. Yay, Andrea, that's awesome. We do it in our almond milk because I don't do a whole lot of juices, but juice sounds amazing. Treating diabetes. The extracts of moringa leaves may benefit people with diabetes, such as managing blood sugar, insulin levels. Talk about insulin resistance. Wow. This seems to be protecting against organ damage, pancreas with insulin levels. Its properties could help prevent complications and slow disease progression. Treating asthma. Moringa contains molecules that help manage or prevent asthma, bronchial constrictions, airway inflammation. One study found that lung function of guinea pigs improved with researchers that gave them moringa extract. Some traditional remedies with kidney stones take moringa to prevent kidney stones. Laboratory tests found evidence that moringa extracts may stop minerals from building up and causing stones in the kidneys. Hello, I know personal people on my videos that watch it. Hello. Reducing high blood pressure. Moringa contains substances that might help manage blood pressure. One study, a group of healthy participants consumed 120 grams of cooked moringa leaves for a week, while another did not. 2 hours after eating, those who consumed moringa had lower blood pressure than those who did not. Improving eye health. It has an antioxidant of beta carotene, which is essential for maintaining health and preventing eye diseases. And last but not least, treating anemia and sickle cell disease. People in some parts of the world have traditionally used moringa to treat and prevent anemia. Results from laboratory, because mainly this is seen all throughout Asia, but also Africa, the moringa leaves, because of the climate that it grows in. And just FYI, for those of y'all who are in zones 8 through 10, pretty much the southeast of the United States, and maybe even the southwest even of the United States, if you're in those zones where it's 8 through 10, and where our property is, it is right at 8, moringa trees can be planted and grow in that climate. Is that not amazing? And so it helps, results from laboratory tests. It helps to traditionally use moringa to treat and prevent anemia. Results from laboratory tests have suggested that taking moringa as food or medication could help manage sickle cell disease. This is due to the antioxidant properties and the chelating activity. Hello, we like to chelate. Get the bad stuff out of the body. Bind to it, attach to it, get it out. Which means it can help remove excess iron and other factors. But also that's kind of like a catch-22, because some people say that overuse of moringa can actually lower your iron too much. So can it aid in weight loss? Moringa extracts may help prevent and manage various factors related to obesity. So possible benefits for people in obesity include preventing inflammation, managing lipids. Hello, moringa leaf lowers cholesterol. It lowers inflammation, and it lowering cholesterol levels and protecting the liver, which means that your liver has the ability to take what needs to be wiped out and get it out of the body in a sufficient manner. So this is Moringa side effects. Very few side effects. Anyone considering using Moringa should discuss it with a doctor to see if it interacts with medication. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? Talk to your doctor to make sure it's not going to interfere with your medications, right? People should always read the label of the extract and follow the dosage. This dosage, it has a scoop. It says 3 grams. Matthew, my son, is not going to do a scoop. He's not going to drink the Moringa milk, which is like my chocolate milk version. So I bought him vegetable capsules, and it comes with a wand. And I fill these capsules, vegetable capsules, I fill it with Moringa powder for him. People should always speak with the doctors first to ensure Moringa is safe for them to use. Some supplements can have adverse effects and may interfere with medications. So, that is my information to you about this supplement that I've been taking, both Rich and I. And again, Rich is very difficult to experience any significant, notable change in any supplementation, but for the first time in his life, he experienced it with Moringa. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me give you my testimony today. God's reminding me to give it to you. So I did Walking with Wisdom. Well, a couple of days ago, the Lord was putting it on my heart. Aren't you glad that God tells you things to come so you're not caught off guard? And so God was telling me, he said, Robin, there's going to be an issue with your tires and you need to be ready. And I'm not thinking anything. I'm thinking, okay. And sure enough, I dropped Rich off at work this morning. And when I left, the tire light came on. And so I came and parked the car and I did my Walking with Wisdom. After Walking with Wisdom, I got in the car and I went to Pep Boys. And sure enough, nails were all in the tires. One tire was dry rotted on the inside. So we just had to get 4 new tires. And I wasn't stressed out. The only way I can describe it is the way I've described a lot of things, where I feel like God's Barbie doll. So Barbie is not saying, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. The little girl that has the Barbie doll is making Barbie walk through the house, is putting Barbie in the car. Barbie's not arguing with the little girl, because Barbie just does what the little girl does with Barbie. And so that's the best way to relate to you how it was this morning when I got the news that we did not need air put in the tires. We needed 4 new tires, or we really needed 3, but there was a sale and we might as well just go ahead and get 4. And so I just chillaxed and I said, okay, I'll just do whatever and get the tires and sit down in the chair, and God, you're going to work it out. I don't know how it's going to look like. And they quoted me this one price, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. God, you got it. And he supplied the need. And I spent probably 2 hours in the tire store waiting for my tires to be put on. And Holy Spirit opened the door for me to just have church. And it was amazing. And then, this is what's so cool, and I'm fixing to get off because I know Matthew's about to be home soon. I got to the counter to pay for the tires, and I said, and I jokingly say because my dopamine levels are here. Woo! I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm here in the tire store. You know, how many of y'all been in the tire store and you're like, man, I got to go to the tire store. It's going to take some hours. It's almost like going to, see a doctor or get work done on your person. And you're like, man, it's going to take a while. I wasn't like that. I was just like, God has got me here. There's a reason. God's going to do something. So I was there over 2 hours. I think it was 2.5 hours. I was there more than 2.5 hours almost 3 hours. I don't know why, but God knows, okay? God did some things. All I can say is we had church in the tire store. So I get ready to go pay for the tires. She says, we're ready. I'm ready. So I get up there and I jokingly say to her, because I'm feeling so happy with my dopamine levels up, I said, oh, I bet since I've been here so long, the price probably dropped at least 10% for my tires. I bet. I just joked. I said, I'm kidding. We laughed. So she starts putting it in. Watch this. Her eyeballs start getting big like this. And I'm like, is something wrong? I said, is it more? Is it going to cost me more? And she said, no. She says it's going to cost you less. And her eyes just kept getting big because the numbers kept coming down. And she said, oh, it just keeps coming down. Like she didn't understand what was happening. And they were giving me a rebate. Not that I had to mail in. She said, they don't really give you a store rebate in the store. You have to send off for it. And she just kept seeing the numbers come down. And after it was over and done, by the time that I had to pay for it, it was laughable. Okay? Laughable. And I was high-fiving her. And the people that I'd had church with and praying and talking about Jesus Christ and just had church. Hallelujah. Oh my goodness. It was a wonderful morning. And I saw the God appointments. I was in the moment. I was present and appreciating and enjoying life. They were all in the waiting room and they hear me giving high five to the lady. And they're all having a blessed time. And some of them are even coming out. Y'all, I have enjoyed this Moringa powder. My husband has, and my son has. Think about it. Talk to your doctor, and I hope you enjoyed this informational and educational video. Bye. I'll see you later.